Today's show is sponsored by Profit Accumulator, the #1 match betting service in the UK. Match betting is different to gambling. With gambling, you bet on one side, and if that side loses, you lose. With match betting, you bet on both sides. That means no matter what the outcome, you're a winner. When you sign up to Profit Accumulator, they will walk you through the whole process of how to do match betting, and as long as you follow what they tell you, you cannot lose. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right now for your free trial, and you can start earning some real cash.
Hello, welcome to AFTV. You've tuned into the review show with myself, Cecil G, and James B. And we're going to be looking back at a painful loss, in my opinion. This is a stats show, so I will let James do what he does best and go take you guys through the stats. But I'm still not over the loss yesterday. I'm going to be completely honest. I know, bro. I'm actually annoyed. I'm annoyed. I'm going to be honest. It's just annoying me. Football's annoying me at the moment. When we lose, it ruins my weekend. When we lose, I don't like to watch any other team. I feel sorry for fans that are at the age of 16 and below who haven't actually seen this team in great success. Yeah, winning a few FA Cups, fine, but I'm talking about like the good times when we used to win leagues and be dominant and being up there in the top 4. I feel sorry for you guys. It's terrible. Yesterday, I feel like we're going back into another dip, as the title says. Is it a minor blip or start of a dip? I just feel like, yeah, we're going back into a dip. We lost against Wolves at the start of the dip before the end of the year. I feel like we're going back into it now. I don't know why, because my argument was once we get rid of the deadwood, things will start to improve. We got rid of the deadwood, and now it feels like more deadwood is coming to fruition. We keep seeing more players that are underperforming, and this is not even just the players. I've never really had questions. Well, I've had a few questions on Arteta at times, but right now, some substitutions that he's making, some decisions he's making. Yes, he has improved the defense and improved the club, in my opinion, and he's on the right path. But yesterday, some decisions, the substitutions he's bringing on, that really annoyed me. Players that I still don't think are good enough are starting, and I don't know how no one can see it when we're all screaming it. There's loads. I'm just pained, and it frustrates me because I love the sport of football. I love it. I played it for a living. I played it for my job. And the more we're losing, the more we're going to end up finishing mid-table, if lucky. The more I hate watching football. And from yesterday's game, before I finish up, we went 1-0 down within 2 minutes. There's 88 minutes left of a game to get the game back. Like, what else? What else do you need to do? I can forgive a mistake. I can forgive Cedric. Mistakes happen in football, but to go 88 minutes without scoring with the players we have, it's embarrassing. That's it for me today. Anyway, I just thought I had to get out. Football's stressing me out. James,
you summed up well, mate. You have. I mean, I'm going to take a different approach to today's show. I'm going to try and be a little bit more positive. Try and look at the positives, because I was so deflated after Wolves. I was really deflated yesterday. And that's not necessarily consistent with what I've been saying I expect from this season. So I'll go into that in a little bit more later. But yeah, I suppose where to start. Well, title of the show, minor blip or start of dip. And, I'm seeing people in the comments having a good old laugh saying, what do you mean? What do you mean minor blip? We're 11th or 10th or whatever. And yeah, you make a good point, guys. But we did see a turn in our fortunes. You can see in our season a very bad patch and then a good patch, arguably very good patch. You could see it, not just a change in our results, but in the football we were playing, the formation and system we used, the personnel and their positions, what we were getting out of individuals. There was a change, and suddenly all those people who were saying, yeah, we might not be very good, but we're not 15th bad. Well, you're right. You're vindicated in that sense. We were looking like a team that at least was top 8, top 6 quality in terms of, some of the football we were playing, and maybe suggestions that we could challenge for those places. But there's still too many issues in this team. And this week it's been, what's the word? Picked apart. I mean, not that we didn't know already that this team had deficiencies, but, I think if you want to look at a good way to sum it up, Wolves and Villa, do you think they're having good seasons?
No. I mean, better than us, but yeah, they're
better than us.
They're overachieving, actually.
So So for where the clubs are compared to us, they're obviously in terms of what you'd expect, maybe they're having better seasons than us.
Yeah.
And in terms of Villa, for where they were last year, they're having a good season. Yeah, they're having a good season. They're not having an amazing season. They're having a good season. Wolves, by their standards, what they've done the last 2 years, are having a not great season, really. And we've taken 0 points from 12 against them. 0 from 12.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. It's just frustrating.
That's shocking. It's absolutely shocking. So I'm going to try and put a positive element on this show. Alistair's right. Villa are the most improved team, but should we be getting 0 out of 6 against them this season? No.
Especially
so,
a goal, conceded so early. Like, you expect us to get back in the game. I'm still hurt at the FA Cup, throwing away that. I'm
hurt by that still.
That gets so emotionally attached. When obviously it's become our work now, so it's a bit different. I have to look into stuff. I have to really take it serious. We have people speaking to us every day about the club and whatnot, so it becomes a bit different. But now I'm just like, we've thrown the FA Cup away. We've in my opinion, we've thrown the league away. There's no hope of us getting top 4. No way. You're dreaming if you think that. Top 6. Again, I still think that is a big ask. It's probably not going to happen. So what we have left is Europa League. So now I'm just looking forward to those games. And as an Arsenal fan, that should never be the case. We're talking about the Europa League. We're not even talking about the Champions League. James, go.
Fallen a long way, haven't we?
I've held my composure for so long, trying to keep it calm, level-headed, give you guys this is what the show is for. But I just had to get out. I have to get out. After this, I continue just present.
After the United game, I thought we turned a corner. And by the way, I stand by that. I think this team has evolved from where we were in November, especially from a defensive perspective. I guess the thing I'd say is Wolves and Villa, they haven't had to do anything spectacular to beat us this week. They haven't had to do anything. We just gave it to them. We really did give it to them.
Yeah.
And I'm not discrediting their performances, but I'm talking about the goals they scored. They didn't have to do anything. And that is quite worrying in itself, but you feel like that can be ironed out. Look, we've talked about this we've said our bit. Let's go into sort of some of the raw stats and it will take us into different levels of discussion. But guys, in the comments, everyone watching, thanks for tuning in. It's early Sunday morning. I'm sure you'd all rather be having, I know it's 10:15, but more of a line, or wherever you are in the world watching, thank you for joining in as well. The thing we want to know from you guys is this a bad week in what's been a good month for Arsenal, a turnaround month? Whether you believe in Arteta or not, whether you have faith in this group of players or not, then we can all agree that the month before this week was good. Borderline impressive. We probably owed it because of the results before, but still. Or is it the start of another really bad run that we're going to go through? And actually this season is going to be littered with those. Highs, lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, do let us know. Do let us know. I'm aware, sorry to keep cutting in because this is James, this is for your
No.
Carry on. But yeah, let us know because I'm aware Arteta's still in the rebuilding process. Like, it's still not his first full season. So I'm happy to give him time. I'm happy to give him a full season. It's just, as a fan, I'm sure you guys can feel it. You may not, but it's painful to see your club go through these ups and downs this much, so consistently, with the players we have and the things we feel like the right decisions being made, bringing players in, and then it just not coming out on the pitch and seeing other teams. Yes, other teams are dropping points around us. It's a weird league, but some teams are like West Ham thrashing Aston Villa. Yeah, okay, they're higher than us, but come on, like, they're West Ham, like, we're Arsenal, and they got 3 past them. We couldn't get 1. Right.
What did we say in our stats preview show? We said the first goal will be crucial because neither team concedes much space and many opportunities or quality opportunities to the opponent when they take the lead and start well. Both confidence teams. I question whether Villa were mentally fragile.
Yeah, this is what Chris George has said. Cecil and James.
Oh yeah,
team is fragile and easily discouraged from defeats. Now, James said this in the pre-match. I think Villa are mentally weak when it comes to this. But I think they've got quality players, but they're a confidence team as well. And I think to go back to, you said something really
something that really just stuck with me in my brain there for a second when you said, we're bringing in the right profile player. Yes, Willian isn't great, but, I think we're happy with Ryan, Partey, Gabriel, Odegaard. I'm happy. I think those are 4 really good additions to our first 11 in our squad. But we're still 10th. And as you said, this is a weird league. So if anything, if you're 10th, but you're up there, like if you're 10th, but a point behind 5th, which is kind of how the league's been going, you say, all right, you're in the thick of it, but we're not. We're 10th, maybe 3 or 4 points off 5th or something, but they've all got games in hand on us. So we're still a long way. We're still a long way from where we want to be. And that is where Arteta gets questioned. But as I said, I'm sort of getting my rantiness out now. But I do want to offer some kind of hope on the Arteta stuff, and people call me deluded or whatever, but I don't care. Should we go into the match stats?
Yeah, I'm going to let you. Yeah, this is all you now, B.
Right, well, you got a good section on Laka coming in a bit. So
I do. That's one thing I have
we'll
to
chat about that. Let's go into, we always do, we go sort of event by event. This wasn't a very eventful game, but we'll try our best to. We'll chat first about the match stats from this game. We outshot them. Yay. But look at that. We had 3 shots on target. 3. That doesn't tell you about the quality of chance we're creating. I don't know what to tell you. There's an error on this graphic, guys, where it says goals conceded. It's not. It's meant to be XG. Apologies. One of those days, eh? So you can see the XG is higher for them. We had more possession. We almost had double the amount of passes. And they still had 8 shots on target to our 3. They worked Ryan more. And one of the words that we kept saying before the game was efficiency. Look at West Ham. They were so efficient. They had 9 shots outside the box against Villa out of 20 shots. 10 of those 20 shots were on target. They were testing the keeper. They were making them work. They were getting the ball. They had less possession, less passes, but Lingard touched the ball more than Grealish and Barkley. We're saying all these things. Be efficient when you got the ball. And I know that's not a tactic. That's not an instruction, but it should be a mentality. Yep. How many times did Lacazette, we're going to chat about him in a bit, but there was a moment that first half where Lacazette turned and he was running. He had Pepe on his left and Sako on his right, and he lost it. Now, I'm not saying they were necessarily through on goal with the right pass, but you keep it moving, and we lost it. And we did that a lot of times where we got into good areas and the cross wasn't very good. The quality wasn't there. There was something lacking from the team. I was watching the game and I never thought we were going to score.
I'm getting more and more wound up. I'm needing with emotion, guys, today. I'm sorry. I really am. I'm just going to put it back up because I'm getting angry. I want to come forget. Right. It's just here, right? Just look at it. We had 3 shots on target. Ada said it. We had 14 shots, 3 on target. It's not good enough. That's not good enough. In fact, total passes, we had more, 597. Now, this was obvious to me because when they scored, a normal club, a logical club, would lock up shop, sit back, which I think is embarrassing because you're only 1-0 up. But that's what they did. Aston Villa did, and we couldn't break them down. It's poor. We have the players to do that. What can Arteta do? Like, it's down to the players then. Like, once you've scored and you're 1-0 down, all you have to do is break down their defence. You had 88 minutes to do that. It's not good enough. It really isn't. You've dominated possession, you've done, but what are you doing with it? What are you doing with the possession? What are you doing with the passes? You can't break down an Aston Villa team in 88 minutes. It's a full game. Sorry.
Bro.
No. Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, that's it.
I hear you, man. It's where the lack of cutting edge comes through. But the thing is, we had Odegaard on for a lot of the game. Well, for a lot of the second half.
Yep.
We had Smith Rowe the whole match. We had Lacazette or Aubameyang. We had Pepe. Saka even went to left back. We tried to do things. Arteta tried to affect it. So is this a coaching issue, or is this a quality in the squad issue? Actually, let me ask you this. I'm asking the audience. Chris Davidson, keep that comment up there. Stats are so misleading. Villa had better chances than us. Let me just show you again that they're not really that misleading because they still had 12 shots and 8 on target. So you're right. They did have. I don't think these are very misleading. I think they tell you how bloody inefficient we were compared to Villa. But you're right. It looks like we dominated that game, and maybe on some level we did, but not in a way that makes me feel satisfied by. It's not like Wolves where I felt we dominated and then match events were just unfortunate. This was different for me, you know?
Sorry, still jarred off, still annoyed, still.
Yeah. But I want to ask you this, and I'll ask the comment section this. Not scoring for 88 minutes, is that on the players? Or was that on the manager? Or, I mean, it's both. But if you're to portion blame, who should have done better?
Guys, yeah, let us know that question. Let us know the answer to that question. Your thoughts on it. Obviously, I'm more in the sense of why you bring on Willian and not Martinelli. I mean, when he came on, you saw what Willian did. So I blame Arteta in that sense. But the players, if I'm on the pitch, right, and there's a whole game left to score one goal, and you have the bulk of the possession, I can't blame Arteta for that. I've argued with Arteta, not argued with him personally, but I've said, like, you need a plan B. You need to know what a plan B is. But I actually believe Arteta is a good coach. I think he puts things. I've seen the team improve in their play, so I have to look at the players. The only thing I question is why are you bringing on Willian? Sorry, Willian, you're probably not going to watch this, but bro, you need to go sit down for a bit, bro. That's it. But yeah, I'm gonna bring up the comments. Sorry, people, because this is not about my rage today. It says James is Shuri as well, so apologies, James. Players, plan B doesn't exist. Exactly. There's like 8%. This is what I'd say as well. 8% blame is on the players for me. Pepe, like, the thing is, we have quality. This is what I have to say. Like, on paper, you'd think. I keep saying we have depth now. We have a strong team. We have players on the bench, come off the bench they should impact a game. Like your top players, I've had amazing careers, amazing, like your good quality players. You come off, you did absolutely nothing off the bench. Even players on the bench. I'm gonna look at Lacazette in a second. No, you're gonna see some stats that I broke down. I questioned it throughout the whole of the first half of Lacazette, and we'll get into that anyway. In a sec.
Let's look at that first goal. I've got it here. I mean, you know, it's 2 minutes into the game. We are, you know, you're thinking make a fast start. What happened with Wolves? Make a fast start. Just keep it tight. Try and assert your dominance on the game early on, and that happens. Now, Cedric makes a mistake. It's a bad mistake. But a lot happens after that. Let's look at each individual player who's involved. So start with Cedric. Poor pass. Yeah, we all agree that's a mistake.
Yeah, it's his mistake. He could cost us.
And ultimately, he takes the most blame for the goal being scored because we had possession and we should have been fairly comfortable with it, and we gave it to them in a dangerous area. Let's move on to Gabriel. I don't think there's a lot he could have done, but was he beaten a little easily? I mean, the guy wasn't past him. The guy didn't have a run on him. He still had to get past Gabriel, and that felt a little too easy for me.
Yeah,
would you say?
I would agree, James. He planted his feet as soon as most defenders or good defenders that played in the game, they know once you plant your feet, which he did, he stopped. The player took the touch past him. He couldn't. As soon as you put 2 feet were planted, the player, you can't turn, you can't stop that. It's bad defending in a sense. If he stayed light on his feet and anticipated the touch, then he'd have been all right. But you're right, he was beaten too easily, in my opinion. But that happens.
Yeah, I think like 2% blame goes on Gabriel. I don't think really that's on him. I think he's not expecting Cedric to lose possession there. He's not expecting to have to defend suddenly. But a bit of blame, and you can see him there on the left of your picture, it does go on Rob Holding for me. In fact, quite a lot of it, actually. Yeah, I thought the marking, knowing where Watkins was shocking. And then the attempted block was shocking. And, I mean, really poor. And I like Rob, by the way. Rob Holding seems a great character around the dressing room, and he seems a good bloke. And I know that's not what you want from your players, but these things are important. What happens behind the scenes and the personalities and all that does matter. Maybe not, you don't see it in individual matches, but across a season and as part of a project, it matters. But in terms of pure footballing ability, I've had my doubts ever since his long-term injury. It's not his fault, but it's a shame he did go through that. And I thought a lot of the stick was on Luiz for what happened against Wolves, but Holding's marking of the space and bailing out his defensive partner, I thought was quite poor against Wolves for that penalty incident. And I think it's quite poor today, personally. Yesterday. I don't know. I feel like he the minute it happened, his first thought should be, where's Watkins? Where's Watkins? Where's the danger? How do okay, mistakes happen. I've seen it happen in front of me. How do I deal with this? I mean, I don't know.
This club exhausts me. Same, Chris. Facts.
Hello? Are we there?
I don't know, James. You're right. You're right. What you're saying about Holding. I mean, we did a 1-4 between David Luiz, Gabriel, Mari, and Holding. We ranked them. Holding was at the bottom of our lists, both of us.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had question mark. Don't get me wrong. He's been on a good run of form up until probably now. But before his run of form, I said I have question marks on Holding, and I still do. I always will. He doesn't. His positioning was wrong. There's one man in the box. It's Ollie Watkins. One man. Like, you as a defender, your job is to cut out that ball. Like, there's one man. There's two of you. There's one man in the box. It's only going to go to one man that's going to score the goal. Yeah.
No, but you're right. That's the one. I've never been a centre back. Okay, so I don't know, and I don't really like. I do look broken. I don't like passing judgment on players that I've never played that position. I don't know what he should do, but my instinct would be, as a footballer, something just happened. The other team might score. So who here is probably the most likely to score? The only man in the box.
Man in the box.
We literally both just said it. The only man in the box. So Holding deserves criticism in that. Absolutely. And it goes back to my fan cam. How many of these players are in the starting 11 now? A lot of them have improved. A lot of them might have a role and a part to play in the squad and the transition that Arsenal are going through. But if I'm not saying they will, if Arsenal were to be title winners in the next 2 or 3 years, how many of those players would still be there? I think very few.
Very few.
And that's what I mean when I say how many are really good enough. Because it's all well and good when, oh, well, we're all feeling good. We're all in good form. Life's great. I feel confident. I feel comfortable. You're playing your best football. But how many can still deliver when the going gets tough? And I think Holding might be one of those I have doubts about. But that's just me. You wanted to talk about
Lacazette. Yeah, if you just want to pop up the graphic for me, James, the role of the strikers, right? So this is Lacazette's touch map, guys, for the duration of him playing the game yesterday. I remember watching downstairs at the AFTV studio with James and saying, "Where's Lacazette?" Every time we go forward, I kept saying, "Where's Lacazette? Why is he not in the box?" There was a time he was at right back, which I respect for doing your defensive duties, and yes, you do them well, but we need to score. I need you in the box. Where are you? So I was screaming that after the decision of screaming it. I thought, you know what? Let me just when he came off, I said, let me check how effective he was. This is his touch map, guys. You can see the direction of play. He had no touches in the box. Again, I'm not going to get. I've relieved my anger on the start of the shows, but this isn't good enough for me at all. This isn't good enough, and I love Lacazette, I really do. But bro, like, you need to get in the box, or you created no chances for us.
Isn't that on Arteta? I mean, surely Arteta's asking him to do that.
It must. That's what I'm saying. I don't know what happened here, because I kept saying, "Where are you?" And it seemed like he was coached not to break the line or play around on the shoulder of the defenders or hold up the ball at the last on defense. He wasn't there. Laka, I love you, bro. But I don't know if it was you. It may have been Arteta's coaching, because when Aubameyang came on, it was completely different. He was in the box. He had touches in the box. He was running the channels. But at the end of the day, when you did that 10 role, you still, previously when he was doing really well, players were getting on in beyond you, and you're bringing them into play. Yesterday, you were so deep that couldn't happen. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that. That's the only kind of stat that really jumped out at me because I was thinking, what is going on? But Laka,
I mean,
I hope.
two of those touches. One of them's in our penalty area. The other one's that kickoff.
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not good enough, and that's not Lacazette's done well recently, and I think he plays a vital part in the way we build up and the way we want to play and stuff. But that's not good enough. I think a lot of it is the way Arteta wants him to play.
This is a great point. I don't know if it's coaching. I don't know if it is. If lack of not to get in the box, I don't know. But if it is, then that's to me that's poor coaching. But I'm saying Arteta. I've seen patterns of play. The team's improved. There's no doubt about it. There has been improvements. I'm just angry that we're Arsenal. We're not doing as well we should be doing. So that is it. But that's a big question.
Aubameyang came on and struggled as well. And did Aubameyang and Lacazette both just have poor games? I don't think it's just all on them.
No, I'm not putting the blame on them at all.
No, of course. But I guess what I'd say is the weird thing is that if you look at Ezri Konsa and Tyrone Mings, the Villa centre backs, and you think about them, I don't really remember them doing anything. Like when I actually think about it, I don't remember them. I think Mings got man of the match, so he swept up, he won his head, he did, but I don't remember ever really testing them. I think when Saka got around Konsa, and that could have been it was a yellow, could have been a red on another day or with another ref. Yeah, I hear that. But I don't know. I feel like we made it quite easy for them. And Lacazette, I felt, was never really pinned to them. The other day we were waxing lyrical about Lacazette because he pins defenders back because he's strong, but he's also quite fast and he's quite unpredictable in his kind of, you don't really know what he's going to do, but this whole game he was completely predictable. So he never really caused or asked questions of the centre-backs. And then Aubameyang, I saw moments, I know Aubameyang had a poor game, but there were moments where I saw him on the shoulder waiting to make a run. But no one really ever tried the ball over the top. It was the one thing we said Partey did so well against Wolves was get us from back to front really quickly. And we have enough technicians on the pitch to do that. And we didn't.
We didn't, James. That's it. It's just I'm done now with ranting. I'm done. But you're right. We're gonna go to some comments quickly because we're coming towards the end of the show. Yeah, I'm gonna take some here. G90 says, fuming, mate. Teams play against us knowing they only have to wait for us to make unforced errors. It's a good point. But yeah.
I'll do you know what? Let me end on some. It's just another thing on Lacazette. Sorry, I know we kind of moved on from that, but
do you listen?
I had some stats on him. If I just bring this up here, we talk about whether it's coaching or other things, but ultimately he's got to do more as well when he's on the pitch. Maybe Arteta in the role he's using him in doesn't help, but 0 shots, 0 on target, 1 key pass, 25 passes in total, only 18 in the opposition half, and he never gained possession once. So if he's dropping into midfield, what's he doing? Do you know what I mean? If he's not winning back possession and he's not getting on the ball as much, I don't really know what his role is. I'm not blaming him. I think it's a function of the team. So that was one negative, but I'll go into a bit more of a positive now. Odegaard came on. I thought he did quite well. Completed 24 of his 25 passes. And I know I slated Willian for having a 97% passing accuracy against Everton over a month ago. But when I looked at Martin Odegaard, I felt he was trying things and he was releasing the ball into very effective areas.
Yeah.
And there were a few little through balls, a few little passes. So the fact that his pass accuracy was high, but I saw him making things happen and getting on the ball and trying to get into dangerous areas, getting a shot away, impresses me more because he's completing passes in difficult situations. He also had 100% pass accuracy in the opposition half.
Yeah,
I know we'd like him to have maybe had a bit more of an impact, but I thought he did well. I thought it was an encouraging start for Martin Odegaard. Let me know in the comments what you made of him. I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah, he wanted to get on the ball loads. He
did, didn't he?
Yeah, his touch map's a joke as well. He only didn't play the full game. His touch map is like he played the full game. I respect that.
Absolutely. And then the other thing, I'll end on Pepe and Sako, who, despite everything that went on in the game and our lack of fluidity, I did feel they looked like making something happen. I thought Saka all game was trying from right wing to left back. He was working really hard. I mean, again, look at me in duels he's involved in. Look how many crosses and quality. Made some good opportunities from his crosses. He was getting on the ball, 3 key passes, trying to make things happen. Pepe not as involved, but almost looked more of a threat than any other player. And I think that's a positive. You know, I think I take heart in Pepe being quiet but still having an impact on the game. Because there are a lot of players like take Aubameyang who, when he's quiet, doesn't have an impact. Lacazette, when he's quiet, doesn't have an impact. Pepe, I think, is showing an ability to produce moments even when he's not really at it. And I do think that's encouraging. So, you know, some positives there. And I suppose if I'm to end on one more positive, it's that things look hit and miss with Arteta. You know, he came in, he had a good start, then it went a little pear-shaped, then he had a good end to Project Restart, then he wins the FA Cup, amazing. Then he makes a good start to the season, then he goes through the worst patch I've ever known in Arsenal history. Sorry, in my Arsenal history, since I've been a fan, I've never known a patch like that. Then we go on actually, I think we were all reluctant to say it was as good as it was, but a very good run of, I think, 5 wins in 7, where we beat some good sides, put in some good performances, and you're going to have the odd Palace 0-0, but in the context,
had a good window on top of that, you would say.
Had a good window, and you're thinking, great.
Yeah.
And now we might be entering another bad patch. And they always say when you go through a transition year, you're going to have ups and downs. It's not going to be pretty. But you expect to see something. And I suppose if I'm really scratching for positives, at least when things went bad under Emery and we all wanted him out, we were being, and guys, please don't have short-term memories. Really internal, I was about to say. We were genuinely outplayed, outshot, outclassed by opposition. We didn't deliver stats like this, where I'm not saying they're good, but at least we had more shots and at least we had more of the ball. We got to a point under Emery where we had less of the ball, we had less shots, we had a minus goal difference. We were genuinely looking like the worst team and playing like the underdogs in every game. At least if there's one thing I take, is that we are starting to lose trying. We're losing but trying, if that makes sense. We're losing, but we look like we might make something happen. I'm not trying to say, guys, be happy with that. But I guess I'm just trying to say that how do I put it? Yeah, he's saying teams happy when they play us, we are shocking. You know, Quincy, maybe you're right. What I'd say to that is teams, I think, are happy to let us have the ball. But I don't know. I guess I'm trying to say I'm seeing little improvements in our build-up play. We definitely look like we can go from back to front better. We're just lacking cutting edge in the final third. And yeah, there's a long way for this team to go. Absolutely. Guys, I'm sorry this episode of the show hasn't been very cheery at all. The stats haven't even been great. I'll be the first to admit the stats haven't been great. The stats weren't great for the game. You know, I can't pretend that 14 shots, we dominated the game. We didn't. We had a lot of the ball. We didn't dominate. So yeah, another frustrating day and a very frustrating week for Arsenal. Probably the most frustrating week of the season.
Yeah, 100% agree. Thank you everyone that tuned in this morning. I don't know what time where you are.
Come on, let's have some energy. Let's have some energy to end the show.
No, I can't. Thank you.
No, let's seriously.
Go on.
One positive from yesterday. One genuine positive from yesterday to round it off.
We didn't get a red card. Woo! No? All right, cool. I don't know, James. What do you want me to say? It's a whole week we got until the next game, and I'm leading with emotion. Yes, I am, but it's not been great. We didn't even speak about the referees' decisions, and I'm not going to go into that because I don't really talk about referees. I try and avoid them, but this is what I'm saying.
And I've done that on purpose, right? Because should it have been a penalty on Lacazette? Yes. Could it have been a red card for Konsa? Probably not, but it could have been on another day. Yep. Yes, I hear all that. But that's not the reason we lost the game.
Facts.
Against Wolves, it was the reason we lost the game. So we gave it all the time in the world. On every podcast I did, on every show, I more than spoke about it because I believe it was the reason we lost. But this isn't. This is yesterday, not the reason we lost. So yes, I'm not really going to entertain that too much. But to end on a positive, I thought Matt Ryan looked good.
Oh, there you go. There's a good one. Thanks for that.
Anyway, I thought Matt Ryan played well, and he looks a more than savvy bit of business and good backup.
Yeah. Tom, before we leave, thank you for your super chat. Pepe, twist, turn, and twist again are too many touches. But Ryan is a good backup goalkeeper. He agrees with you. Josh, I see you. Get out of here as well in the comments. Before we go, I just want to say thank you again. We've reached 1 billion views. I know you guys probably heard it a lot this whole week, but we thank you for staying tuned with us. James, thank you for the stats and thank you for just being there for my rant today. Hopefully we can turn things around. Next week we have Leeds and hopefully we see a brighter performance and we get a win. Thank you. Have a great rest of your day.
Today's show is sponsored by Profit Accumulator, the #1 match betting service in the UK. Match betting is different to gambling. With gambling, you bet on one side, and if that side loses, you lose. With match betting, you bet on both sides. That means no matter what the outcome, you're a winner. When you sign up to Profit Accumulator, they will walk you through the whole process of how to do match betting, and as long as you follow what they tell you, you cannot lose. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description right now for your free trial and you can start earning some real cash.